This movie tells the story of a couple, Amrita and Keshav, celebrating their 5th year marriage anniversary in Sri Lanka. They stay in a beautiful homestay by the hills of Lanka and decide to go on a Ravana trail visit. Just when all goes well, both their laptops, phones and iPads get stolen, and that leads to a turn of events, and that forms the rest of the story in this award-winning Sri Lankan director Uday Vithanage's brilliant classic Paradise. Well, if Paradise is lost or not, let's see. Watch this video. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Welcome to yet another episode of the Workal Experience with Dr. M. Vanakamunga. See, we have all heard the doctrine behind yin and yang, right? A white and a dark pattern. The white pattern has a black dot on it and the black pattern has a white dot on it. This doctrine applies to the movie. See, what is the doctrine behind yin and yang is that if white were good and if black were bad, then inside every good there is a little bit of darkness or bad, or inside every bit of black, there's goodness in it. So they apply this to this movie, to the main cast. Then the movie shows two characters who are fighting inside of them to keep that balance, that yin and yang. As much as this movie is a drama, there is a thrilling angle to this movie. You see, the movie is set in beautiful Sri Lanka, which is on the brink of a civil war due to the currency being devalued, and there is no foreign exchange for them to go and buy even fuel. As much as there is an eye-pleasing scenery of Sri Lanka, they make you forget it in a blink of an eye and then show you the conflict between the dark side and the white side of the actors. See, prassana drives forward a brilliant story that shows the contrast between the two main leads, Keshav and Amrita. They are a middle-class couple. They don't have much money. They choose Sri Lanka because that's what fits their budget. And they also quietly feel that they are actually doing a good to the economy by giving them some foreign exchange. So they wait patiently for 5 years till they see some kind of revenue before they actually can move forward and start a family. With their subdued internal conflicts, 5 years is a long time for a couple to be together. And they are conflicting among themselves on a lot of issues, but they're still staying together. I mean, that's mostly how an Indian family pulls through. Prassana leads a thriller that gives you the choice of taking sides with either of the two of the supporting actors or the tour guide, Mr. Ant, or even the wild cop, Sergeant Pandera. Heck, even a Samba deer is placed in the movie. You can even take your direction and support one of these few characters because every one of them show yin and yang, and each and every one of them have their own reasons why they have their own yin and yang. Screenplay is by Anusha Senanayake. She drives the script so tightly and so well. And that's exactly what has inspired the actors, especially Darshana, to give their best. I won't say Darshana is a method actor, but then she's somebody who's very emotive with her expressions. She lets her smile do the acting. She lets her eyes do the talking. Heck, even her body language throws out an emotion. There's a scene in this movie where she's actually sleeping under a tree, and on the background there's this beautiful mountain with a waterfall on it, and she's slept off on the patio chair. Suddenly she hears a voice, and then she gets up and then goes towards her room, opens the window and finds a beautiful regal looking Samba deer right there. Her face lights up and she immediately looks around, and it's 9 a.m. in the morning and Keshav is still in his bed. She looks at him and she knows that he's not the kind of guy who actually enjoys something like this. She doesn't want to disturb him, and so she gets up and she runs. Her body language in that whole scene, right? There is no score, there's no music, nothing, just the ambient sound of the birds and the windows opening, her steps and all that. This is what is shown. The whole scene, Darshana's just nailed it. There's no dialogue, there's nothing. She's completely killed it. What a sick actor, I'm telling you. the character development is what actually makes this movie beautiful. See, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to give you spoilers. I'm not going to give you anything. What I will do is I will give you the characters and how they have been developed. I will give you the choice of following each character so that you will find your own yin and yang. You'll find your own good and bad in each of these actors and take this movie forward. See, that's where this movie is brilliant, because you can choose to follow whichever character you want, be it Keshav, be it Amrita, be it Sergeant, or be it the driver, or even the somebody. You can follow the somebody. Let's start with Roshan Mathew. So Roshan Mathew plays Keshav. So he's one of those guys who's on a long journey, is very restless. I mean, you take a journey from here to say Kodaikanal or Munnar or something. He's very restless and he wants to get to the hotel soon. He wants to settle down with a bottle of wine or beer. Fuel stops are usually restroom stop, come in with a quick bite and leave. But he's also a creator. See, for every creator, the valued possession is their pen or a brush. They are emotionally bound to it as it helps them bring out their expressions, which are influenced by political and cultural factors. Keshav too is bound that way to his laptop and his iPad. His life's work is there in it, and when that goes, it drives him mad. In fact, it drives him to the point that it has become materialistic. He doesn't want the inconvenience of recreating all of his creative ideas. This is one attitude that makes him a very, very cool person. Now, is that a good or a bad act? Is that a good or a bad person? Now, you will debate this point for days to come. Okay, Amrita, played by Darshana Rajendra. Now, she is someone who stops on the middle of a long drive to smell a flower, feed a pup, or get ecstatic over a stunning view of a mountain with a waterfall. She's so comfortable with life. She loves the simple pleasures of life, and that also makes her a compassionate and a very, very sensitive person. Even the thought that a beautiful samba deer is being killed so they can feast on it upsets her. She's crying inside for someone to understand her sensitivities and the way she humors life per se. But what she does in the end, does it make you empathize or sympathize with? Are you on her side or are you against her? That's another route for you. Shyam Fernando plays Mr. Andrew the driver. Now, he's one of my favorite characters in the movie. Mr. Andrew is the buffer between the restless Keshav and Amrita. He is the one who actually brings a little bit of peace and quiet in their life. He is the one who balances out their negativities. He knows his couples are going through a war among their feelings, just like how his nation is going through. He's hurt that his country is going through a very low time. But he doesn't show it. He doesn't show even an iota of it, because he doesn't want Amrita and Keshav or any tourists who come as guests to his bungalow to feel his pain. He's bent on giving them the best experience. He's like a father to the both of them. Would you be on his side? Because he does something towards the end of the movie which really questions Shyam's character. Okay, this next character, somebody who I actually adore, it's Sergeant Bandra. Mahendra Pereira plays Sergeant Bandra. Sergeant Bandra is the colorful character of the cast. As much as his attempt to henna his hair were unsuccessful, he stands to show how he's the victim of thousands of Sinhalese who have been poisoned by the politicians to hate the Tamils. He is also under tremendous pressure not to trigger any incident that might lead to widespread mob lynching. As any police would do, he pins the crime on an innocent Tamil and indirectly feels satisfied and fulfilled. Will you be on the side of a sheep that has been misled by his shepherd? You see all these characters. Just choose one character, follow and enjoy the movie. Now, all of these actors, the story and screenplay needs to be cut. Srikar Prasad is the man of the hour. And only Srikar Prasad, in my opinion, can cut a movie like the way he balances yin and yang. I mean, the way he throws in the visuals that takes you into an emotional roller coaster of imminent violence, followed by the beauty of Sri Lanka and the anger of Keshav and the hurt of Amrita, to the cynicism of Sergeant Bandra and the even patient staff of the homestay. There is even a visual of the samba deer peering right into your eyes, and the deer is looking at you and is saying, "Why have you brought me into your mess?" So the beauty of this movie is the way that you can take sides with the characters. And you can form your own final climax of this movie. Like yin and yang, you will find reasons to justify each of their actions. In the end, you will see that's how life actually is. Actually, life is defined by good and bad. Killing a beautiful samba deer, is it right or wrong? See, it can be right for somebody whose family is malnourished and he has to find a way to nourish them. It can be wrong from the eyes of an animal addict who says, why don't you change to a plant-based diet and get your nutrition from there and spare this animal the misery of killing it? You see, there are two angles to every story. And this movie gives you not two, but four, but five angles, five directions for you to move to. Simply brilliant movie. Simply brilliant movie. This is the yin and yang of movies. Paradise, no, it's of course it's not lost. Paradise is a balance of yin and yang, good and bad. Find your balance and find this movie in the theater or the OTT right next to you and watch this brilliant classic by Prasanna Vithanage. Vanakamanga, this is Dr. M signing off, and thanks for tuning in. This is the Vocal Experience.